Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing that shit with me. I like to do these every Monday to show you guys what sold over the weekend for me. And for reference, this is from Thursday afternoon sales to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah. It wasn't terrible, but I think it was only because I had a few like high dollar sales. So I did gross $807.51. I did make a net profit of $627.97. And I had 27 total sales across 3 platforms, 13 on eBay, 12 on Poshmark, and 2 on Mercari. Now, if you guys remember, I told y'all on the last ship with me that I just was not trying to send out like aggressive offers. However, I just went on and ran a sale for my eBay store, and I think that's the only reason I have these amount of sales, because I think if I did not do that, I may have had half of these sales. All right, so we're gonna start off with eBay first, move on to Poshmark, and then move on to Mercari. I typically like to go from the highest sales to the lowest, so we're gonna start on eBay first. The first one is actually this vintage 1960s. I wanna say this was a mini dress. I actually picked this up and I was really thinking that it was like Shein or something, but I Google lensed it and I couldn't find anything on it. So I did look in the interior and you can just tell that it was handmade. So it was labeled as a vintage 60s dress. But this one actually sold for $33.74, which was 25% off. And I did pay $1.50 for it, and I made a profit of $27.57 after fees and cost of goods. This one actually sold really quickly, so that was a pretty good turnaround for me. If y'all have noticed, I don't have any tape or what do you call it, or my stickers. So here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase some tape and some stickers so I can have some at home already, so I don't have to keep trying to bring them back and forth, because like I remember to have the paper, but now I don't have any of the other items. So we absolutely love that. I'm sorry, this was a For Love of Lemons, or Love and Lemons new tags top. Of course, I sourced this at the bins, and I was actually happy to find it because For Love and Lemons is a pretty decent brand, but since this was just a top and it wasn't like a set, I didn't think that it was gonna, you know, sit around this long, but it did. So this one sold for 25% off, which was $26.23. I did pay 89 cents for it, and I made a profit of $22.19 after fees and cost of goods. This one is a Bowden dress. This one sold really quickly. Bowden is a brand that it's very much so a hit or miss. But I was really happy that this one didn't take long to sell, especially because it was a size 2 and it was a petite. So I just knew that I needed to price this accordingly so it wouldn't sit forever. But typically Bowden dresses used to sell for about $40 for me, but now if I'm lucky I could get like 32, but that's probably with a specific fabric and then a specific size. But this one, it was just a plain little sheath dress. This one sold for $23.99. I did pay $113 for it, and I made a profit of $19.95 after fees and cost of goods. And this is a e-bag purse or satchel, whatever you want to call it. So this one, I was really surprised that it got as much attention as it did. However, mine is like an older model. You can just tell by the hole, I want to say, where it's supposed to put your iPod at, because they have more up-to-date ones. But this one got so much attention, and I would definitely pick this one up again because it did, you know, net me the profit that I want on bins pickups. But this one sold for $20.23. I did pay $1 for it at the Goodwill outlet, and I made a profit of $16.24 after fees and cost of goods. Let me know if you've ever picked up e-bags before, because clearly they're pretty good bags. But anyways, this is a FootJoy's men polo. This one had like travel, you know, logos and geometric stuff on it. And what I've heard from the men resellers, they typically talk about having geometric prints, and they do perform, you know, really good. So I unfortunately picked this up at a thrift store a few months back, and it was a size extra large. It had that geometric print. So I'm like, oh, this one, oh, why am I packaging? I don't have any tape. Anyways, so it had that geometric print. So I'm just like, oh, this one's definitely gonna do well. I priced it at like $32 in hopes of getting 25 to 30 for it. And y'all, this thing sat and sat and sat. And I just couldn't understand why, but like I told y'all before, FootJoy has definitely, you know, declined, unfortunately. So you'd have to have something pretty special in order for it to do well. But this one actually sold for $18.73, which was 25% off. I did pay $7.27 for it at a regular thrift store, which is really, really, really sad. So I only made a profit of $8.51 after fees and cost of goods. So that was very disappointing, but you know, what can you do? This is another item that I picked up at a regular thrift store. These are a pair of Adidas pants, and they are a new tags piece. So I felt like the cargo and new tags kind of held its weight. Adidas is not really a brand that I pick up just because it does not perform that well. No matter what you get, like you'd have to really pinpoint the selling points in order to get a good sale on it. But I knew that this one would do decently because I did check the comps. And that's why we check comps. So we don't pick up pieces that we think are cute and that we think could sell. We got to pick up pieces that we know will sell. So this one took, I want to say, like 3 months to sell. I actually picked it up in a reseller vlog, so very recent. But this one sold for that 25% off of $36.74, and I did pay $5.46 for it, and I made a profit of $25.32 after fees and cost of goods, which is actually the price point that I want for my items that I pick up at regular thrift stores. I want $25 and over. But anyways, this is a J. Crew, like I want to say this is merino wool. It's one of those open knit duster cardigan situations. These become really popular around fall and winter time because these are like the best type of coats to wear in the office. But yeah, so of course I picked this up at the bins. I pretty much pick all of these up when they are in a decent condition and I feel like they are still sellable. So I went on and grabbed this one, and this one sold on the offer as well, or not necessarily the offer, but I guess the sale that I was running, and it sold for $29.99, which is a lot lower than I wanted on this. I wanted at the very least about $40 for this because that is the price range. This one was a size medium, and it was kind of like a really good style, and it was merino wool. So I just felt like with all of that aligned, I should get at the very least $40 for it, but it sold on sale. And like I said, it sold for $29.99. I did pay $1.22 for it, so I made a profit of $25.12 after fees and cost of goods. These are some Athleta pants. These are pants that I picked up, and I knew when I picked them up, I'm like, girl, are these gonna be worth your time? But for some reason, Athleta is one of those brands similar to Sundance and REI Co-op where I'm just like, I gotta pick it up. It's very rare for me to leave Athleta behind because I'm just like, yeah, it's not gonna sell for a lot, but it's definitely gonna sell. And that is a mindset that I cannot take with me to 2025 because, girl, this one did not sell. I had already priced it low because it was, you know, I don't want to, oh, it is pretty flawed. Like, it's pretty worn. And then the fabric material that they use, it like wears off a lot. So it doesn't really like keep its shape. But this one ended up selling for $17.23. I did pay $1 for it, so I made a profit of $12.22 after fees and cost of goods, which is not what I want on bins items. I want a minimum of a $15 net profit. But you know, what can we do? This is a Express Portofino women's shirt. I actually stopped picking these up like a good 9 months ago. At one point, I want to say over the summer last year, they were selling for me. They were like flying out of my closet. I mean, I could only get about $15 for them, $15 to $20 for them, but I was just like, no, I'll still pick it up. I don't mind it. And then I started to notice like, okay, they're not leaving as quickly, so I just completely stopped. And I do that a lot when I source at the bins or just in general. When I see, you know, a certain style from a brand does not perform, I don't even pick it up. Even if it does have the right factors, I just can't risk it, you know? So that one sold for $11.21, which was the 25% off. I did pay $1.01 for it, and I made a profit of $10.78 after fees and cost of goods. This is a vintage piece from a brand called Bravo. This is more of a style pickup. I didn't really care about the brand. I knew that since kind of like the cowboy or cowgirl aesthetic is like in right now, I knew that it would do decently. I was trying to get about $20 for this, but I had it priced a little bit lower. I don't really, you know, price my vintage pieces high. I used to, because I'm like, oh, this is rare, somebody's gonna want this. But it just sits and sits and sits. So I just figured it would probably be better to just go ahead and price them a little bit lower where people would actually purchase them. But this one sold for $16.48. I did pay $1.26 for it. And I made a profit of $11.64 after fees and cost of goods. This is a brand called, what is it? 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. But I only picked this up for style. This is like a velour material. It's a maxi skirt, and just kind of going up the alley of the whimsy goth, dark romantic and all of that. So yeah, like I said, this was a style pickup, and I did not price it high because of course I wanted it to sell, just because it was more of a style pickup. And this one sold for $14.98. And I did pay $1.26 for it, and I made a profit of $9.96 after fees and cost of goods. I feel like I'm noticing a certain theme here. All of the low tier items were selling, and they are selling for a lot less than I had already priced them. So someone told me on, I believe it was my last ship with me, like they had a lot of low hanging fruit sales, which I feel like on eBay, that's pretty much all it is, but on Poshmark we get a little bit better. But anyways, this one sold for $14.98. I did pay $1.26 for it, so I only made a profit of $9.96 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, y'all, I just got one of my packages. If y'all follow along on my vlogs, y'all know your girl been shopping. But I just got something, so I just opened it up and did all the things. Anyways, let's just get back into it. This was a skirt that y'all actually just saw on my recent haul video. It was the commando skirt. This sold really quickly, and I think it's because it was on sale. They know they got a steal of a deal. I initially priced this, I want to say at like $45, I want to say. What kind of pissed me off is that I didn't, oh, why am I trying to wrap this? I didn't recognize that eBay actually included all the items that I recently listed. I want to say like literally the exact same day. So I was pretty pissed about that, but I was just like, you know, the way these sales is going, I might as well just try to get something. So I just left it alone, and I'm only running the sale up until the end of the month. So by the time y'all see this video, the sale is done, and we'll just go from there. I have over like 150 people that are just watching the items, and it's like, little do y'all know, as soon as, you know, July 31st get here, the sale is done, and it's gonna go back to only 15% off. So y'all sitting here waiting around, y'all gonna be mad in a few days. But anyways, this one sold for $33.74. I did pay $1.52 for it, and I made a profit of $29.59 after fees and cost of goods. Last piece to sell on eBay is this green dress. It was an exercise dress. It had an open back. Of course, it was no name, so I just put it as a green dress. And this one got a lot of attention, which really surprised me because I'm just like, it's a no-name brand. But I guess it's really important to just make sure you use the right keywords so it can get the right buyer. I keep trying to package it, but yeah, so this one didn't sell for a lot. It was pretty disappointing, but you know, what can you do? I was trying to get about $15 for it, but nobody was trying to give it to me. So this one ended up selling for $11.22, and I did pay $1.11 for it, and I made a profit of $8.96 after fees and cost of goods. It was a pretty disappointing weekend on eBay. For some reason, I thought the 25% off would have definitely you know, zhuzhed up a little bit more business, just because I I always cap my offers at 15% unless you are a viewer or unless you are bundling an item and you reach out about a, you know, a decent bundle offer, then I will, you know, drop the price maybe a little bit more than 25%. But for the most part, this is as good as it's gonna get. But I know for the future, I think I'm gonna go ahead and run a month-long 25% off sale on eBay next summer, and then, you know, I'll try to figure out the amount that I want, maybe 20%, I don't know. But I know here on out, since I know for a fact July is my slowest month like ever, which is so weird, y'all, because I did my books for this week. Even though we still have 3 days left, I'm already over $5,000. So that's actually really good, but it's not good. All right, so moving on to Poshmark. This is a new to me brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. It was a larger size bra, so that is the reason why I was more inclined to pick it up and look into the brand. And the brand was actually performing decently, so I went on and grabbed it. I was pretty happy with this sale. I think I had it at 32 because this brand is pretty pricey. They sent me an offer of 25, and of course I accepted it. I thought that was incredibly reasonable. But this one sold for 25, and I did pay 84 cents for it, and I made a profit of $19.16 after fees and cost of goods. This is a really good vintage brand. I was pretty shocked at the comps that I saw when I found it at the bins. So the brand is called Golden Bee. It's a vintage brand. This one was silk. It was a long line, you know, kimono. And I priced mine up because I wanted to make at the very least about $40 for it, because most of the ones that sold, they were selling between like $30 to like $50. So I was just like, okay, I want to be in that realm, preferably about $40 at my lowest. But they sent me a $49 offer, which I thought was, of course, incredibly reasonable. So I accepted it, and I did pay $1.32 for this, and I made a profit of $37.88 after fees and cost of goods. A cute little Zara pair of cargo pants. I actually recently sourced these, I want to say, and Zara is definitely not a brand you want to continue to like pick up a lot. So I try to be very, very, very specific with the pieces that I pick up, and leave pieces that I know don't sell, which are their like mini dresses, just smaller size dresses, and just plainer dresses. So this one sold for $30. I did pay $1.26 for it, and I made a profit of $22.74 after fees and cost of goods. It was a Max Studio skirt. Y'all actually saw this in my most recent haul video. This one sold fairly quickly. I'm only taking this off because I don't think that they need to see, you know, me writing on it. I typically just put the sticker on top, but since I am stickerless, I'm not gonna put one there. But yeah, so this one, like I said, y'all recently saw it in a haul video. I had this one priced at 25. I was trying to get $20 for it. They came in and sent me a $15 offer, and it took everything in me to not accept the offer because it was, you know, really slow this weekend. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just counter, because I feel like this item can still sell. This is definitely a, you know, deep winter color for those girlies. So I'm just like, I still feel like I can sell that in a couple of months for $20. So this one sold for $18. I did pay $1.30 for it, and I made a profit of $13.10 after fees and cost of goods. Okay, so the next one is actually these pair of 𝕃𝕊𝕂 shorts. This is one of those brands that I pick up and I just cannot leave it behind, especially if it's in excellent condition. I know I only get about $12 to $20 for it, but I still can't help myself. This is what I would call a filler brand. I definitely learned the pieces to pick up and the pieces to not pick up. But this one sold for $13. I think I had this one priced at $20. I was trying to get $15, and here we go again. Like I told y'all, I don't typically like to counter $2 more, so I went on and accepted the $13. They initially sent me a $9 offer, and you already know how I feel with those 50% off. But I feel like during this time, you really got to take what you can get. But I still countered. I still countered to $15, and it just threw me off because I'm just like, what's really $2? Like, you really about to counter for $2? So I just went on and accepted it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. This one was an exciting find. I feel like most of this video is very, very depressing, but I do have another piece that like brought my weekend up. But this one is a Kate Spade dress. I typically try to make sure I vet these types of pieces at the bins, just because even though Kate Spade does, you know, retail for a lot, the resale amount just sometimes isn't there. But since I saw the stock photo, I'm like, okay, this is fairly newer, probably not that new, within like the last 5 years, I want to say. And I took a chance on it, and I was so happy that I did, because this one sold for $50. I think I had it priced at like $75 or $68, somewhere in there, and they sent me a $50 offer, and of course I accepted it. And I did pay 83 cents for this, and I made a profit of $39.17 after fees and cost of goods, which is a decent amount for a bins pickup, and we love that. These are a pair of 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 jeans. I actually picked these up with another pair. The other pair actually sold within a few days. This one took a little bit longer to sell. For some reason, I thought these were going to sell first because they were pink, but clearly not. And these sold for $30. I want to say I had them priced at $38 and they sent me a $30 offer. I want to say, I'm not sure, or my bot sent them an offer. But they accepted it. That's actually how much I wanted for these, was $30. So it was, you know, the perfect amount. I paid $1.20 for it, and I made a profit of $22.80 after fees and cost of goods. 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 is definitely a brand, especially if it's just 𝕃𝕀ℕ and not 𝕃𝕀ℕ and the letterpress. If it's 𝕃𝕀ℕ and the letterpress, I will do a little bit more vetting and just making sure the style looks more current, even though the brand is now 𝕃𝕀ℕ and it dropped the letterpress. But it's more of a bread and butter brand for me, the same way Maeve is for me. So this is a Miss 60 like micro mini skirt. I was really happy when I found this because when I initially saw the tag in the bins, I'm just like, I feel like I definitely heard somebody talk about this brand, and I couldn't pinpoint who it was, but I'm like, I'm gonna take it. And then of course I did my research and I'm like, okay, this is a Y2K brand. Y'all know the micro mini is in, probably about to head out the door because it's about to be fall. But I was so excited when I found it. And I looked at comps. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gonna get a lot for this. So I did price it at $250. I typically, you already know, I don't price items up because I want to make a quick sale and get some money. But I knew this one was a special piece, so I'm just like, okay, let's go ahead and wait it out. I actually got this in April, and it has been relisted multiple times, and I always get over 50 something likes on it. And I mean, across all platforms, it had so much attention, and I kept sending out like $130 offers. That was my lowest that I wanted on this one, so I just continuously sent them out across all platforms. Somebody even kept playing with me on Depop when it came to this one, and she just kept missing the $130 offer that I was sending her. So I'm just like, girl, bye. So yeah, I said all that to say, somebody came in and sent me a $150 offer. I was like, hell yeah. So of course I accepted it, and I was like hoping and wishing and praying that their payment didn't decline, and it actually did. It went through, and I'm like, yes, Lord. But yeah, so this one I did pay 98 cents for it, so I made a profit of $119.02 after fees and cost of goods. All right, these are a pair of Nike men like fleece shorts. Nike is definitely not a brand you want to pick up often. Nike is a brand that it has to be real specific. I know it took me a little while to get back into picking up this brand because I had completely stopped at one point, because like I told y'all before, when I notice things aren't selling, I don't keep picking them up in hopes, you know, that they will sell. I just say, nope, I'm okay. But this one had a few factors. It was the little like tech fleece. It was a size extra, extra large, and it was a pair of shorts. So I'm just like, okay, that alone, I know I can sell these for $20 to $25. They did sell for $20. I did pay $1.48 for it, and I made a profit of $14.52 after fees and cost of goods. So yeah, Nike is a sometimes pickup. Like, I want to say maybe like 10% of the items that I see from Nike at the bins, I'll pick up. These are a pair of Eileen Fisher like velour pants. I actually picked these up earlier in the year, and I recognized that once I got home, they had a flaw to them. This is when I was picking up Eileen Fisher at regular thrift stores. So y'all know this is a while ago. I don't pick up Eileen Fisher at regular thrift stores anymore. It has become a brand that I actually see a lot at the bins, and of course I pick it up at the bins because Eileen Fisher, depending on what you get, it doesn't sell for that much. So I feel like the stars have to align when it comes to this brand. A lot of people are lucky with it, and a lot of people are not. I have been lucky with it with a few pieces, but some of the other pieces I have not. So it's so many factors that goes into it. Not only the size, not only the style, not only the color, not only the fabric. Like, everything has to align perfectly for Eileen Fisher pieces to sell for me. So it's not always just, oh, it's a plus size, so it's gonna sell. Like, I've been able to sell smaller sizes. So it just really depends on the buyer, if we're being honest. But yeah, so this one sold for $35. I did pay $4.46 at a regular thrift store, and I made a profit of $23.54 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is actually that Brooklyn robe that y'all saw on my haul. I need to make sure I'll be able to package this. Oh, here we go. I do have one. I wish I would have brought a box for that. I do have a box, but I don't have any tape, so there's that. Looked like they were a new buyer because I had noticed when they bundled it, they had asked me a question. I think they said, does it run small or something like that? Because the site advertised this as pre-shrunken. And like I told y'all, I actually picked this up for myself, and y'all know damn sure I'm not a size large. I was able to fit it, but it just wasn't the best look. So that was the main reason why I said I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. But when she asked, I said no, it's true to size. So she went on and asked me, could I do 28? And I was like, of course, just send the offer, because I had already sent an offer. Well, 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 did, I didn't. But yeah, so then she sends me an offer of 26, and I'm like, girl, why is you playing? So I just countered at 28, because it's like, don't sit here and say, you know, could you do 28, and then when it's time for you to send the offer, you do $2 less. But like I said, I had noticed that she had been, this is not gonna fit in there. I don't know why I'm still trying to stuff it in there. I had noticed that she was new, mainly because it had showed that she had discounted shipping. But anyways, that one sold for $28. I did pay $1.52 for it, so I made a profit of $21.40 after fees and cost of goods. This is that 𝕃𝕂𝕂𝕂 like sleep dress that I talked to y'all about in a haul. I feel so bad because I think one of my subscribers had asked me what was the fabric content on this, because I think they were gonna potentially try to buy it. And I try to remind myself to remember when I go to my storage unit. I even set a reminder when people ask me like size questions, or just any question that I don't already know, to put it on my reminder so that when I do get to my storage unit, I can remember to answer the questions, but I never do. That's why I'm like, I really need to get my inventory back into my home, because I feel like it really does prevent me from making certain sales, because y'all already know, if y'all watch my vlogs, I am literally always busy. So when I go to my storage unit, I'm not thinking about answering questions. My main thought is pulling these items and then, you know, delisting items or like cleaning out my inventory. So it really just kind of holds me back. And I know I've lost a few sales because I haven't answered their questions, but it's not like I'm intentionally not. I just keep forgetting. Like, even with the reminders, I always make it back to my car and I'm driving off. I'm like, damn, I forgot the measurements. I'll do it tomorrow. Set another reminder. Guess what? Don't do it. So it's just, yeah, at this point, if you don't see it in the listing, you might as well just keep it moving, because the answer ain't gonna be answered. The question won't be answered. But anyways, this was the 𝕃𝕂𝕂𝕂 dress. This one sold for $17. I think I had it priced at $20. I was trying to get about $15 to $18. So that $17 offer, I was completely okay with. This one sold for $146. I did pay $12.14 after fees and cost of goods. 𝕃𝕂𝕂𝕂 is one of those brands where you have to be real specific with what you pick up, because it doesn't do as good as it used to. I used to be able to sell their raws for about $20 to $25, and now they sit for a very long time. So yeah, you just got to be real mindful of that. All right, moving on to Mercari. These are a pair of Lilka, I want to say, pants. The brand is sold at 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕂𝕂𝕃. They're just kind of like a palazzo wide leg style. I had these priced at $38. I was trying to get $30 for them, and I did. They sent me a $30 offer, and of course I accepted it, because, you know, you pay no fees on Mercari. So I was really happy with this sale, but Mercari has just died, and I just feel like that's fine. I think I might go in today and send out aggressive offers. I called myself doing that. That's the reason why that item sold, because I actually pulled that to sell to a buy sell trade store, because I know they love Eileen Fisher. But anyways, this one sold for $30. I did pay $126 for it, and I made a profit of $28.74 after fees and cost of goods. But yeah, this is Eileen Fisher. Eileen Fisher has made its way in this video twice, so that's great. It's so funny because, you know, since I started to become a bins shopper primarily, I noticed brands that I used to get so excited to find in thrift stores. When I find it at the bins, I do get excited. But when I see it in thrift stores, I'm like, nah, I'm not paying that for this. Because it's like, I know this brand is not the best. But Old Gloria, 6 months ago, or hell, a year ago, I just will pick up anything from this brand. Because it's like, it's Eileen Fisher. Like, this is a Bolo brand. She's definitely not a Bolo brand, I'll be honest with you. Eileen Fisher is definitely a bread and butter, and it's very specific, you know? But this one sold for $18. Like I told y'all a little bit earlier, I did send out aggressive offers. I think this was initially priced at like $32. I was trying to get about $25. I sent out an $18 offer. They accepted it. I did pay 89 cents for it, and I made a profit of $17.11 after fees and cost of goods.